So thank you very much. We're going to face this session, one of the last sessions of this Congress Talks on the last day of this Mobile World Congress. And we do it, as we said, facing the Collider project. And we do it with a person who's really special because I want to go through something that I didn't do on the last Congress Talks on the last days. She's Samantha López. And I'll try to say it properly, right? I'm a guy of, I'm a journalist. I mean, I'm not a scientific guy. She's a biologist and master in biostatics and bioinformatics. Correct me if I don't say anything right. She's got a PhD. She's a student in physics with experience in molecular biology, lab techniques, and genomics. And here comes a hard one: transcriptomics data analysis.
Very well.
I never had a scientific here. Why do we have a scientific in Mobile World Congress? What's happening? What's changing?
Well, I bet that who uses to sit here are mostly engineers.
Kind of.
Yeah, but it's important to say that science and technology go always together and evolve always together. So it's equally important to have science and technology.
So we can understand that in 21st century, in these days, science is also getting some benefits from AI, blockchain.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Right, great.
Well, actually, you said that I studied transcriptomics.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what was that. I mean, I never studied transcriptomics. It was not on my goals.
Actually, you said absolutely everything I've done in my life.
That's great.
I don't have more curriculum.
That's, well, yeah, we can say that you sing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I didn't say everything you do in your life. You sing
Sometimes.
in a choral, in a gospel.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
yeah.
So we're not going to ask you to sing. We're going to talk about Collider, which is what matters today. So facing Collider, we got a great explanation from Oscar, the top leader of Collider. But how would you say that the Collider project works?
Okay, the Collider is an acceleration program that tries to match scientific projects, scientific and deep technology projects, and people with entrepreneurial skills and entrepreneurial background. So they can do a team to bring these scientific projects to the market. It's a kind of way to try to avoid what happens to mostly every scientific project in Spain that is focused only in scientific publications, but doesn't. It's not applicable to the market directly. So this is what Collider tries to do. So they form.
It would be like Tinder for the scientific projects. You just make
kind
matches.
of. Yeah, kind of, because actually I applied my profile, and with the research group we applied with a technology, a scientific project, and the entrepreneurs applied with their profiles, and they have like a system that I don't know how it works,
so,
but
yeah,
tries to match
this way
kind of
or
Tinder.
this way.
Yeah,
and
basically.
I suppose you choose this way, and probably Oliver and the whole team went this way, and you all joined.
Yes.
So you did this Tinder match, this Collider match, scientific match, and how did actually the process work really? I mean, once you all got that match, you joined your own perspectives, and you said, hey, I've got a great revolutionary thing in sciences, and then the other partner said, Oliver, for example, said, hey, I've got another one, and I think we should face this with a first round of investment to do this. How did it work?
Yeah, actually, we, the scientists, don't come to the Collider with revolutionary projects. We have projects that are well, mine is great.
Come on, revolutionary.
but not revolutionary until we find an application for the technology to the market. So that is what we spent the first months doing. The first 4 or 5 months, we were validating the applicability of the technology to the market, in our case, in the healthcare system. And then everything came after that, like rising a financial round and all the things you may already know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But before that, you said mine is not a revolutionary project. And I can say I don't agree.
Okay.
But maybe not all of the people who's watching us know what's Rheo Diagnostics. And I would like you to explain a bit what's exactly what you're trying to achieve and what you're actually doing.
Okay. Well, I always try to say that it's not revolutionary because I prefer to focus on work than than already believing that it's going to be super great. I prefer to be focused on that. And what we do is a medical device for blood analysis that analyzes the physical properties of blood as a fluid to infer about things.
So what you analyze is technically the viscosity of the blood, because it seems, and maybe you don't know, I didn't know before, that your blood can have different viscosities depending on several things.
Yes.
Age, does it make a difference?
It could make a difference, not directly age, but what age causes. And as this, many other things can cause changes on viscosity.
So depending on the illness you can or disease you have, you will have a viscosity which is higher or lower, and that can determine if you are having that illness or not.
Not only higher or lower, but the whole viscosity behavior along different values of pressure, more or less.
Great. And the pressure, I think it's measured. I'm learning a lot these days. The pressure, I think it works when you try to put that blood into a canal, let's say, and because of the way you pressure that, it comes out faster or slower, and you measure that.
Yeah, you know it very well.
You know,
that's exactly what
I'm doing a PhD also on scientific things these days. So you can manage and you can realize that. The question is that information complementary to the normal analysis? Is it absolutely different? Is it the same?
Absolutely different from a conventional analysis, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely different. Because conventional analysis focus on analyzing biological and chemical parameters, and most of them use reagents. And what we do is study only the physical properties, and we've realized we can get a lot of information from that without the use of reagents, which is actually what increases the cost the most of the conventional analysis. Like 60% of the expenditure of a clinical laboratory is only in reagents. So that is how we are so economical.
Okay, so you are in a way complementary. It means that you are not going to get the whole information that I would go if I go to my doctor and I've got a traditional analysis with chemical reactions. Mm-hmm. You bring the natural and healthy and different way. But so far we talk about something really analogical. Blood, viscosity.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds like touchable. Where does the digital part come through that? How do you analyze that blood to make some, I don't know, data out of it so that you can determine if I'm having an illness or not? Where is the blockchain, the AI, or the digital part connecting to that?
Well, those are a lot of cool words. Actually, what we have by now is a strong statistical know-how to go there. So we don't yet apply artificial intelligence, for example, but we have the know-how to know how to develop a platform able to do that. And by now we are kind of doing the models by hand. Yeah. And in the future it will be able to improve by himself.
So I suppose you initially need to get lots of samples of healthy blood, so that, and also non-healthy blood, so that you can compare that parameters with others.
Yes.
Create that huge database, and afterwards, while it's connected to the cloud and the AI, have those results in fast time, because it's going to be very fast.
Yeah, super fast. Yeah, it lasts 5 minutes to do a measurement and get the result.
So it means that the same way I go to a pharmacy to say, hey guys, can you just check my pressure? I'll be able to go there and say, can you make me a blood analysis? And I'll say a Samantha's blood analysis or Rheo's blood analysis. I'll be able to say that.
Yes.
I want the Collider one. That's going to be the way.
Yeah, kind of. We want to enter the market selling to hospitals and also primary care. But we expect in the future it would be able to do the test in the pharmacies and in the long term at home care even.
And you're actually testing it at hospitals?
Yes.
I mean, you're doing it in 2 or 3 hospitals right now.
Yes.
I think you're working with some others to see if you can also implement that and keep.
By now we're working with Hospital Clinic and buying the Sanguita sheets and Hospital Canruti, and we are also talking with Valdebron, so to see if we can collaborate.
Great. And tell me something. Why it looks like it was so difficult to have scientific grade projects like yours and your team, of course, out like now? I mean, talking about them, why is it so hard to have them working?
Yeah, because when one decides to work on science, mostly what he focuses on is to do a research career that in this country is basically financed in a public way. So the achievements you are expecting to get are scientific publications and grants. So there's not the culture of bringing projects to the market or developing projects that can go to the market. So I was super lucky to enter in a research group that had that vision, that from the first moment they started developing the technology, they knew that they wanted this to be a product. And that's not something that happens usually.
You're telling me that there are amazing and brilliant projects at universities from friends of you probably, which could save our lives, which could benefit us, that are there. And that probably are going to be patents that are going to be in the bin of history.
Yes.
Really? Yes. There's no way to push them except for if we have Collider pushing hard.
There's Collider and there are other programs like Collider, and I think that's a good way to start this improvement.
Would Rheo Diagnostics be here without Collider?
I don't think so. No, actually, because I wasn't in the research group from a long time ago, but I know that they already had attempts of bringing this to the market, of turning this into a product, and they didn't achieve that until they knew about the program and started this adventure. So probably they would be still trying.
And having in mind that there's a lot of influent people probably listening to you, what would you suggest to the public services to change, or at universities, so that great projects like yours come through to a reality or become a product which can benefit all of us?
Well, basically, give more advantages for projects that are market focused, that are designed to have an impact on the society, on the healthcare in my case, on the economy. Not only that they are interesting or I don't know, but also that they have an application, a market application, because this is the reality we are living on, and things work this way. So why not to go together, the business and the science, hand by hand, you know?
And in that sense, you've got in your team, thanks to this program, some people who's expert on the entrepreneurial part, on the business part, on the way of how do we have to make this project a reality, let's say. But do you feel kind of involved with that, or you live like the guys of the numbers to manage them and the rounds and all that, and you face your part? Or you have kind of interactions in that part too?
Yeah, I have interactions all the time. Yeah.
Do they tell you something about the blood? the business guys?
I don't know how much are they learning about science, but I'm surely learning a lot from them since we met. And I am absolutely involved in all the, well, we are 3 full-time workers and
so
founders.
You're one team?
Yeah, and we all together do like all the tasks, me also. And we also have a research team on the laboratory that is more focused on that part, but my role is completely transversal.
So the 3 big guys in the company are in the same level. You talk about everything, you discuss about everything.
Yes.
It's not about this is my part, this is scientific, this is your part, these are the numbers, this is the round investors or whatever. You join all that, you share it, and
there are some topics that are that one person is in charge of them, but most of the things we discuss everything together.
Great. And something that I was absolutely excited about your project is that to fundraise some money, instead of initially go to some business angels or whatever, which of course they are always there too, you wanted to do it through a fundraising platform called Capital Cell, which is focused on scientific projects, and you reach your goal.
Yes,
That's fantastic. Congrats.
Yeah, super fantastic. We are very thankful to Capital Cell. We also found some business angels. My PI Aurora is guilty about that. So she's investor in the company, and some of the friends are also, and the rest is from the crowdfunding campaign that we were like about 6 months preparing it, and we weren't sure about launching it, but finally we made the step, and it's been great.
Worked.
So
It
it worked.
350,000 euros, I think.
Well, from business angel and crowdfunding, it's 350.
Okay.
And we are closing with some other business angels to reach 500.
And as far as I know, you are controlling a lot the way you grow, because you don't want to grow too fast. You want to kind of control all the processes, right?
Yes.
So if someone comes now and, hey, I give you 3 million, no, we don't want them yet.
No, we've asked for the money we need by now, and we know that in a year more or less we're going to need more money, so we are already talking to VCs this time to start, so they know about us at least, but we don't be ambitious in that sense.
Yeah. You know? Great. Going back to the project, which I think it's nice to explain, I know it's going to be really beneficial for transfusions. Why is that?
Because, as I said, we analyze physical properties. One of these properties is elasticity of red blood cells. So in blood stored in blood banks, what happens is that elasticity of these cells changes a lot, which in the patient transfused, the consequences are that this blood is not as efficient as it should. So what the doctor does is to over-prescribe blood. So if you need 1 bag of blood, maybe he prescribes 3 because he knows about this effect. What we propose is a way to monitor the patient, save in blood, transfuse him 1 bag if it's what he needs, and monitor how is his blood working on him.
Great.
If it's working well, he's not gonna need the other 2
Yeah, I didn't know before I started, but every year in the whole world we have 112 million transfusions of blood, and we could even we could say there is not a 20% which is unnecessary, but that we could just maybe use it better.
Yes.
When having in mind the amount of blood we need for some certain times, accidents and all that, it's really a valuable part.
Yes.
And I suppose that you, apart from determining which part or which blood is more efficient and all that, you can, I'm not sure about that, but can you say if one blood is more compatible with me or not? Is it also about compatibility?
Well, not by now, but because compatibility is quite well controlled in the blood bank already, but maybe we can do a better match even in the future. But we're not focused on that exactly right now.
And on the same way, the blood, when it's stored, let's say, it has some days to be used.
Yes.
And you can also measure the effectiveness of that blood. Of course, on the day 1, it's fresh, so it's good. It would be perfect for any of this series with long teeth. But apart from that, I mean, it's great and fresh. But after that, it can get like worse, and you can measure that.
Yeah, actually, the interesting part is that every bag is different, and every patient is different, and every bag during the 42 days it's stored in the blood bank evolves in a different way that is almost uncontrollable. And also, when you transfuse it to the patient, the way the patient evolves with this blood is also different depending on the bag and on the patient. So there's no metrics for measuring that in the patient, and that's what we propose.
Great. So just finishing some of the last things I was thinking about, which is the next step? I mean, you are growing, you are making it very solid, going step by step, having that fundraising part, capital cells, some VP, and all that. What's next? What would you like as a scientist to focus on right now?
Working.
Working.
Yeah.
You don't have time.
Actually, we're going to spend this money raised in developing portable prototypes. We already have some of them to do a preclinical validation for this application we've been talking about and other pathological applications. And by the end of this year, we will have another series of prototypes that will be very similar to the final product to start the clinical validation to get the CE mark. We expect to reach the European market by the end of 2020.
2020?
Yes, it's a very fast way, yeah. Actually, medical devices, people used to think that the ways are super long, but not that long, and in our case, it's super easy to test also.
So just to recap, when did you start with the Collider?
November 2017.
And in 3 years, well, in 2 years, let's say, 2 and 2 months, in 2 years, you're going to be in the market with your project?
I think so.
Sounds amazing.
Thank you.
What do your friends say at university?
At university, they say, we're going to be rich.
You're going to help a lot of people.
Well,
and probably they're jealous.
I hope so.
So 2020, it's going to be in the market. We understand initially at hospitals.
Yes.
Big places, let's say.
Yes.
But afterwards, that should be, because the machine, I think it's small, so portable.
Super small this way.
So in a way, wow. So in a way, you understand that that's going to change the medicine, or it's going to go with the change of the medicine, because the medicine is going to change in a way.
Exactly. Yeah, medicine is already changing to the home care and telemedicine and all these things, and we expect to get the wave. It's
so the doctor is going to be able to come to my home and make that analysis.
Yes. Well, I hope so.
And have the results in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Or when I go to my doctor to tell him, hey, I'm not feeling well lately, and he starts just checking me, he's going to just check my blood in a sec while he's measuring me, watching the wave or whatever.
Yeah, why not? I hope so.
That sounds amazing. Well, Samantha, it was great listening to you. It was great to listen about this. One of the first great, I would say, successful cases of the Collider program. So thank you very much. Thanks very much for bringing this to society, which I think is the most important thing. I'm sorry we are stealing some hours of your work, but I hope in 2020 we'll have that project out.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Samantha López, thank you.